Hello, you have to have some sympathy for drug and chemical companies, don't you? Because nowadays, what with one thing and the other, a lot of people are quite worried about dosing themselves with things that drug companies at one point will say are good for you, and then at the next point will say, oh, no, don't use that, there's something wrong with it. And because of that, I'm sure the uptake on that sort of thing must have dropped dramatically. So they're left a bit sort of at a loose end, so to speak. But never fear, human ingenuity is always endless and infinite, like the universe, or, as Einstein said, like stupidity. And they've come up with something to, instead of dosing people, well, just dose the prime producer, in this case, the cows. That way, there's no way you could really avoid it, is there? And they get their pay packets for the next week. Well, until a problem crops up. I'm Granniopteryx. I'm on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute and Minds. So, Bovaer is the most extensively studied and scientifically proven solution to the challenge of burped methane. So you see, burped methane is a challenge. It's not a natural process that cows do. No, it's something that has to be battled against, and it's now available. Bovaer is authorised and available for sale in over 55 plus countries. Oh, well, yeah, that makes it all right then, doesn't it? Including the EU. Oh, well, gosh, if the EU think it's a good idea. Yeah, they thought that banking thing was a good idea as well, didn't they? And then the migrant thing, they thought that was a good idea too. No, but never mind. It's going to be right this time. And also Australia, Brazil, Canada, Chile, Mexico, Pakistan, Switzerland, and the United Kingdom. Oh, well, we always get things right over here, don't we? Okay, how it works. So this is what Bovaer is. In a cow's rumen, microbes help break down food. This releases hydrogen and carbon dioxide. An enzyme combines these gases to form methane. Bovaer is a feed supplement that suppresses the enzyme, so less methane gets generated. Just a quarter of a teaspoon in a cow's daily feed takes effect in as little as 30 minutes. As it acts, Bovaer is safely broken down into compounds already naturally present in the rumen. Now, how do we know that methane cycle is not essential for the health of the milk? How do we know that? We are interfering with a natural process. Here, grass-fed cows produce healthier milk, it says here. So when you graze a cow, the milk that comes out of that cow is better quality than the milk that comes out of a cow that's being kept in a shed and fed high protein and nutritious cattle cake. Quick facts. Dairy consumers perceive grass milk as healthier, and studies have shown that it is. Grass-fed dairy and organic dairy cows provide milk significantly higher in beneficial fatty acids and lower in omega-6. So it's healthier milk. Grass-fed cows produce healthier milk. For a start, how are you going to get this Bovaer into grass-fed cows? That's the first thing. And the second thing is, why do they produce healthier milk? Is it because their digestive processes are less under stress from artificial food and they are just producing milk from the healthy food that they are allowed to digest naturally? Arla, the big dairy company, are all for this. So they're singing the praises of Bovaer, which claims to reduce enteric methane emissions from cows by 27%. So you're going to put something artificial into the cow's diet, and that'll reduce their methane production by 27%. I mean, that's not even half. Why would you put that into the cows for such little return? In October 2023, DEFRA renewed its commitment to reducing methane emissions in livestock through plans to encourage the use of methane-suppressing feed products in England. So they've got this bee in their bonnet about methane being a terrible thing. So they're going all gung-ho for adding something artificial to the diets of cows, which will end up in the diets of people. I wonder if this has anything to do with the way our government is trying to reduce the number of small farms in this country. You know, the sort of people who are less likely to take up big chemical solutions to the problems of farming. I just wonder. DEFRA research has shown that shoppers are generally positive about methane-suppressing products if human and or animal health are not affected. I don't believe that. You can ask questions in any way you want to get the answer you want. And they say this trial project between Arla Morrison's, Aldi and Tesco could help provide this evidence. Yeah, at our expense. We're drinking the stuff. We're drinking the milk from cows that have had this chemical shoved into them. British farmers have a huge amount to offer when it comes to producing climate-friendly food. Now, while we're talking about climate-friendly food, may I make a small suggestion? Stop importing almonds in such huge quantities. A single almond takes about 3.5 litres of water to produce. Are almonds bad for the environment? Well, one of the big issues is water. A single almond takes about 3.5 litres of water to produce. Most almonds, about 82%, are grown in drought-afflicted California, where it constitutes a multi-billion-dollar industry. The number of almond orchards has doubled in the last 20 years in California. These large industrialised and monocrop farming practices are not good for biodiversity, while the year-round irrigation required for almond trees puts huge pressure on a finite resource. Water is diverted from rivers for farming, which can negatively impact fish from low water levels. California's aquifers are also being tapped for farming. These natural water sources took thousands of years to accumulate. Now they're being used up faster than they can ever be refilled. California is being turned into a desert by its almond industry. So if you want to talk about environmentally friendly farming, you don't need to mess around with the cows. You need to stop importing almonds. You need to stop eating almonds except for, special occasions. And that sort of thing. That's what you need to do. Let's have a look at avocados. What's the avocado's environmental impact? Avocados aren't great for the environment, it says here, because it takes a lot of water to produce a single avocado, around 320 litres, 84 gallons. They contribute to deforestation. The greenhouse gas emissions, not methane, just ordinary emissions created from exporting and shipping them around the world. So if you want to be sustainable and good for the environment, you will stop eating avocados every morning squashed onto your breakfast toast. This is total nonsense. If people in the NFU and DEFRA are worried about environmental impact, we should start by putting a high tax on the importation of almonds and avocados. In fact, that's not a bad idea anyway. Instead of going for our farmers, we should go for almonds and avocados. Support our farmers and use the tax from the almonds and avocados to help the National Health Service, which is what they're saying about driving our farmers out of business. And stop bloody messing about with our food. Stop putting chemicals in. They say, oh yes, a single quarter teaspoon in a cow's diet, and it produces 27% less methane. Oh, how marvellous! Just a quarter teaspoon. Well, just a quarter teaspoon of arsenic is just a quarter teaspoon, but I wouldn't say that's all that good for you either. Not that I'm suggesting that Beauvais is arsenic, you understand. I am merely talking about the fact that it is something that the cows don't need to eat to be producing milk. Quite the contrary. And avocados and almonds are things that, while nice, we can do without. And if we were really worried about environmental impact, these would be the first to go. Not interfering with the cow's natural digestive cycle. All right. Till next time. You can help my channel by subscribing and clicking the notification bell. That's quite important. And by sharing if you're so inclined. Links to my other channels and to donation methods are in the description. But the best way you can help is simply by clicking like and notify. Thank you.